Joined by Dennis Shepard here, Kinky Lounge in Ottawa. The start of a little bit of a Canadian tour, isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. This is my first stop. Tomorrow I'm going to Montreal, and on Saturday I'm going to Calgary.
Great places, both of them. You've been in Canada a couple times. Is there a different vibe here in Canada than somewhere else?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what I really like about Canada in general is that people are very open. Like people are small talking a lot. The big difference compared to Germany is, for example, if you sit in the airplane or in a bus, it's pretty like everyone is talking. In Germany, everyone is quiet, So just yesterday, when I landed actually in Montreal and took the bus to Ottawa, and I had such a nice lady next to me, and we talked like 2 hours straight just about traveling and all of that. So that's really nice. I really enjoy that.
And then, of course, right now the silly thing is this Pokemon crap that's going on as well, right? So,
I've seen that all over Facebook. Yeah.
I would just advise to stay away. Is social media an important thing for you to continue to focus on yourself, or is it really just go out, play the music, and people will come if you make good music?
I think social media is very important, most of all because you want to stay connected to your fans and want to get the direct feedback and all of that. So, I think it's super important for sure.
How about radio nowadays? Do you think radio and podcast are as important as they used to be maybe 5 years ago, or is it still sort of a really important leading way that you find is a great way to have exposure?
It depends on the format. So, for example, A State of Trance is by Armin van Buuren is really huge, and if you get featured there, that will have an impact on your career. But I don't think that as a DJ you have to have your own radio show or podcast. For example, ATB or Cosmic Gate, they didn't have podcasts for years. Cosmic Gate just started their own podcast now, but I don't think it's very important. Yeah.
Do you get a chance to catch up with the rest of sort of that crew around the country and around the world? Do you find they pair, yourself and the rest of the Germans together at events?
Not that often, but sometimes, yeah. But usually you have a few people you're in good contact with and that you stay in contact with via email and via phone and all of that. So, yeah.
What do you have coming up music-wise, new productions?
Yeah, I have a really, really good tune, a vocal tune with Lady V, who has done collaborations with Marcus Schulz in the past. She's based in London. I've met her, I think, 2 months ago, but the collaboration happened earlier. So it's usually that vocalists send me the vocals over the internet, so we don't really meet in person in the studio. And she sent me that really, really strong vocal, and I sat down in the studio, brainstormed, and really, like, I did that production that was like so fitting to those vocals, and she's so happy about it. I'm happy about it, and right now we are in the process of signing it to a quite big label.
Excellent. If people are looking to get kind of connected with to produce to you, is there a way that you say is the best to catch your ear? I'm assuming a straight social media message or, hey, listen to my song is not going to really do it. They've got to have some other little edge. Anything that you could give as a tip to, say, a young producer or DJ that's looking to try to get known?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about networking nowadays. So you need to show up. Let's say, for example, you want to get a tune signed on Garuda, that label by Gareth Emery. I would recommend going to a gig by Gareth Emery, try to give him a USB stick or a CD, try to talk with him, if it's just 5 seconds, it's just 5 seconds, but at least he has a face that he can connect to a name that he might read later via an email, So I think that's very, very important. That's how I started, actually. Because when I started, I didn't know anyone in the scene. So I just went to those gigs, made the connections face to face, and that worked really well for me.
I'll come back to that next question really quick, but I remember doing that with vinyl myself, right? So, and then you have to lug in vinyl, and how do you try to get into a club when you're carrying a bunch of your own vinyl and to give it away? Hard to do. What got you started into it? Is there a specific song? I can pick one out right now that I know that's what changed me and got me into trance, and then through all the other genres.
Yeah, I mean, I started listening to trance end of the 90s, but just as a consumer for many years. And then it was only in 2004 that I started producing music. And that was a completely random moment, because my uncle started playing around with a like amateur music software program. And I thought it sounded really good for how much work he has put into that, and so I also looked into that, played around with it for a few months, and then uploaded my stuff on online communities, got really good feedback. People recommended, suggested to look into professional software. I did that, and from that point on, with me it's all or nothing. So I put my whole energy into it, but it was still a hobby. It wasn't like that I wanted to become a full-time musician that I am now, but it just developed from that point on, because even if it's a hobby, I put my whole heart into it, and it just developed from that point on.
Was there a time where you're like, okay, this is really, I have to give up something that you like doing in order to try to push through? Or is it you're okay to just give up that job on the side and really go into it because you didn't like that job?
Yeah, kind of like that.
What was that job?
So I studied business, which is really helping me nowadays with my business. But I was working in a tax office in the beginning, after the studies, and that was kind of boring, honestly. So I did like a half-time tax office job, and then half-time music. And at one point, I just thought I can't do that anymore. I'm gonna try it full-time music, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least I won't regret anything when I'm older. So I'm just gonna try it, and it worked out so well. I'm so happy now. Like people, when I hear people on a Sunday evening, they are like complaining, oh, tomorrow Monday, I hate Mondays and I have to go to work. I'm super happy going back to the studio. So that's a huge difference, I think.
Awesome. We'll leave it at now because you got to get back upstairs and start playing shortly. It looks like there's a massive thunderstorm coming through. Have you played in the rain before?
No, I didn't actually. So first time today.
Hey, at least it's not snowing, right? So
Yeah.
I'll leave you with one final question because I kind of half prepped you with it. I don't know if you have an answer or not, but do you have a favorite Canadian producer or vocalist in the genre or out of the genre? It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I think Solid Stone is really doing well at the moment. I really like his stuff. It's more for warm-up sets, but for example, I also do 8-hour sets sometimes. So open to close sets, and the first 2 hours are usually always like deep house, progressive house, and Solid Stone's stuff completely fits into that. So I definitely will play his stuff out, and I think he's doing really, really well, and really like his stuff at the moment.
And the new artist album is amazing. And you said you're in Montreal tomorrow, so if your gig is early or late, he's doing an open to close pool party tomorrow. So I'm sure you could find a way to find some.
Isn't it on Sunday?
It was Sunday. It was supposed to be at Beach Club, but they canceled the venue. They closed the venue. So, anyways, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you and hearing you tonight, and best of luck on the rest of the tour.
Hey, this is Dennis Shepard, and you're listening to Amplified Radio Presents. Hey, this is Dennis Shepard, and this is my latest track on Amplified Radio Presents.